This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Right now at 6 on Good Morning Indiana.
All of a sudden, I started hearing these horrible noises and, I was like, oh, this is not good.
When a local man had a major car problem, he was expecting the repairs would be covered. But why is his warranty leaving him with a big bill? And what's the recipe to win a claim?
In just a few hours, the fate of 3 charter schools in Indianapolis will be decided. Why IPS wants these schools back and the impact it could have on your family.
This time of year, ads for free gift cards and coupons seem to be just about everywhere. The reminder this morning that if a deal seems simply too good to be true, it likely is.
If your furnace stopped working right now, you'd do anything to get the heat on. This morning, a warning about a repair scam you need to hear about so you don't waste your money.
Plus, a chance to watch some hard-hitting hockey while helping spread holiday cheer this weekend. We have some special guests live in studio with us to talk about the Indy Fuel's Teddy Bear Toss.
Hey.
And it is 6 o'clock. We want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana. It is Friday the 13th.
And here's the good news. It is warmer in Indianapolis right now than Alaska.
Hey.
And as you know, that's my barometer, right? Because Alaska, I think if it's cold, we are super warm. Hey.
Yes, and as Lauren mentioned, it is Friday the 13th, which means some scary things could be ahead for us today, Todd. Thankfully, the forecast is not one of them.
You guys want to go to Crystal Lake Camp here or what? Friday the 13th? No. See if we find Jason or what?
Nope.
No.
That's on you.
All right, I'll take one for the team. Outside right now, it's pretty quiet. That is the good news. So what you need to grab before you go this morning is your hat, your gloves. You could grab those. It's a little on the cool side. Definitely need the jacket. Sunglasses, you probably don't need those here today. There could be a few peaks of sunshine here this morning, but the clouds are already starting to increase across the area, and these clouds will hold pretty firm throughout the day today. So sunglasses, not a necessity, but you may want to have them handy, I guess, this morning. As far as any precipitation goes, you notice a few patches of wintry mix off to our west. That will eventually head our way later on today. So at least throughout the morning hours here, you're completely dry with those increasing clouds, and we will start to see the temperatures moderate pretty quickly. That's the good news here throughout the day today, is even with the cloud cover, temperatures do moderate. By the time we get to the noon hour, we're looking at a temperature of 41 degrees. We'll continue to warm from that point forward. However, late tonight, if you have plans this Friday, that's when we start to bring some precipitation into the forecast. We'll talk more about that and a bigger storm system heading our way for the latter half of the weekend coming up in just a few minutes. But right now at 6:02, let's get you updated on the roads.
Hey, Todd, no problems here in the downtown area. I-65 and I-70 at the North Split. Everything is moving along smoothly, so that is great news. Let's travel up here to the northeast side. If we want to take you down I-69 on our maps, our drive time at this hour, 14 minutes from State Road 13 to the I-465 ramps. So everything there is traveling up to speed. Of course, we'll continue to keep a close eye on those roads.
On this Friday at 6:03 and only on RTV6, a Boone County man thought his vehicle claim was clear and simple. He was expecting to have his engine repaired. Instead, he received a warranty rejection.
No matter the season, Orty Ortwine enjoys bike trails.
I'm a big-time cyclist. I love riding my bike.
So much so that when it came to buying a vehicle, it had to have the ability to carry his bicycle. He picked a Kia Soul based on reviews and friend recommendations. All went well until this past August. The oil light came on in Indianapolis, and he never made it to his home in Lebanon.
All of a sudden, I started hearing these horrible noises and, I was like, oh, this is not good. And I pull over and I gradually pull over, and then the car just went kablooey, and there was smoke and steam just everywhere, all over the place.
An inspection found a hole in the engine block. The mechanic wrote most likely caused from a lack of lubrication. Orty took his Kia to the dealership, counting on his warranty to kick in, since the vehicle was under 100,000 miles. The dealership told him that Kia was not paying for an engine replacement.
I said, well, why? And they said, well, they saw the lift sticker in your windshield and said it had been used for commercial purposes. There clearly was just something wrong with the engine, and my driving for Lyft did not have anything to do with that.
He admits he provided about 20 rides as a Lyft driver and says he was unaware of page 4, item 8 of his warranty. It warns consumers that the warranty could be jeopardized for a number of reasons. If the vehicle is used for competitive driving or racing, police or emergency service, or carriage of passengers for hire.
I was livid, frankly, because it felt like a loophole. Clearly, there's just something wrong with this car. I mean, a hole in the engine block does not just happen. And I felt like they found an excuse to not make an expensive repair, was my feelings on that.
Okay, Raphael, so you reached out to Kia. What did they say about the claim? And also, what did they say about Orta using his car as a Lyft vehicle?
As you know, we always get the other side. Kia did not address the Lyft issue directly, despite me asking in writing. The company did release a detailed statement to RTV6. Let me read it to you, because in part it says that Kia takes reported customer concerns seriously. They point out that their warranty and consumer information manual states that damage due to improper maintenance is not covered by KMA warranties, and also detail the vehicle owner's responsibilities relative to maintenance intervals and the retention of accurate maintenance records. They go on to say that Kia technicians revealed that clear signs of lack of maintenance, including engine oil sludge, which can lead to engine failure. Therefore, consideration for additional possible goodwill coverage beyond the terms of the new vehicle limited warranty term has been denied. Now, Mr. Ortwine disagrees with Kia's decision. New at 6:30, what service departments tell me is the best way to win a claim, and it all comes down to paper. That story coming up at 6:30 right here on Good Morning Indiana.
Here at 6:06, the future of 3 Indianapolis charter schools will be decided today during a board meeting.
The 3 schools in question were taken over by the state back in 2012, and now Indianapolis Public Schools wants the opportunity to take them back. Our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning. And Kelsey, talk to us a little bit more about the decision that's being made today.
All right, Lauren and Meredith, today the Indiana Charter School Board will vote whether or not Charter Schools USA gets to keep their charter with Emmerich Manual High, Emma Donnan Elementary and Middle, and Howe High School. Now, the Florida nonprofit was chosen by the state to run the schools back in 2012 when that takeover happened, but now IPS leaders are asking the state for the schools back. Superintendent Alicia Johnson says she believes they have the tools to best serve the students at these 3 schools.
You know, I think those schools have been a part of our IPS history, our IPS family. Those children, those students are IPS students, and we want to serve them, and we believe we can do that with a different partner.
If the Indiana Charter School Board votes to end Charter School USA's charter with the 3 schools, then in January, the Indiana School Board will then meet to decide if IPS will get those schools back. Now, we did reach out to Charter Schools USA yesterday, and we have not heard back, both via email and by phone. And that meeting today is at 11 o'clock, and we'll be there. We'll be bringing you updates on air and online. So coming up in the next half hour, hear about one of those partnerships that IPS has already set up if this plan goes through. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. The time now is 6:08, and weeks after educators, as you may recall, rallied at the State House, the Red for Ed rally, the Indiana State Teachers Association is laying out its priorities for lawmakers. At the top of the list is more money for Hoosier teachers. The ISTA wants $75 million of the budget surplus to go toward raises for teachers. Now, leaders in the House have not indicated that they will consider a pay increase. But earlier this week, Governor Holcomb included support for the Teacher Compensation Commission as part of his 2020 agenda. That commission is tasked with looking for ways to make teacher pay competitive compared to neighboring states.
Boone County is making changes to a Lebanon intersection after RTV6 went to work for a family seeking closure. Sherry Dennis died last month in a crash at the intersection of County Road 100 South and County Road 400 East. Her family and drivers who live nearby say the area is tricky. The speed limit is supposed to be 40 miles an hour, and even though it's a two-way stop, a part of the intersection is hard to see. Dennis's family suggested making it a four-way stop, and after RTV6 reached out to county commissioners, that's exactly what they plan to do. Commissioners are scheduled to vote Monday to approve the change and fines for any violations.
At 6:09, convicted Indianapolis drug kingpin Richard Grundy III now knows his punishment. He'll spend the rest of his life in prison. A federal jury found him guilty of all counts against him, including leading a criminal enterprise. Grundy and his group, known as the Grundy Crew, were linked to numerous crimes over the past several years. Investigators say in the past he ordered several murders of witnesses and oversaw a drug trafficking ring. He dodged charges back in 2015, and now U.S. attorneys say justice is finally served. 24 other people have been convicted in connection with Grundy's activity. Some of them were sentenced to decades in prison themselves.
A connection, a relationship, and answers. That's what one adopted Hoosier is seeking after learning his birth mother's name.
He is one of thousands of people who have requested adoption documents since a change in state law just last year unsealed thousands of those records. Our Alyssa Donovan is here this morning. Alyssa, this man says he learned his birth mother's name and where she lived. Tell us more.
That's right, Raphael. And one of the addresses he found was just 5 minutes down the street from where he grew up with his adoptive family. His birth mother no longer lives at that address, but he hopes by sharing his story, they can reunite. Quentin Young was adopted when he was just a year old. The recently unsealed adoption records he requested revealed his birth name was Devin Michael Hunt. The records also listed his mother's name, showing she gave him up when she was just 30 years old. And now he wants to meet her. Young says he's had a good life, but after losing both of his adoptive parents, he started to wonder about the woman who brought him into this world. At first, he was mad and felt abandoned, but he's gotten older and he's reached a point of understanding.
Maybe it's not because she didn't want you. Maybe it's because she wanted better for you. And you have to think about it like that. So, and honestly, I've had a good life so far.
Young is now engaged. His wife says she would like to meet her fiance's birth mom too. Young says he's hopeful they can meet and build a relationship. And since Indiana adoption records were unsealed in July of 2018, thousands of people have requested documents to learn where they came from. Birth parents do have the right to keep their identities private by submitting paperwork with the Indiana State Department of Health, but Young's mother didn't file any. He believes she left this door open for a reason, so that one day in the future they could meet again.
Alyssa, thank you so much for that information. Appreciate it. Laying the foundation for a career working with your hands. Up next, in Hiring Hoosiers, I'm checking back on a fast-growing industry, that of carpentry.
And Disney Magic is heading to the ice. Just after the break, we'll have your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to see Disney on Ice. Stay tuned for that. But first, let's get a check of that forecast.
And Lauren, the final commute of this work week is going to be a good one here across central Indiana. No weather-related issues. The clouds are starting to increase just a little bit, and temperatures are hovering right around freezing, so it's not as cold as it has been either. Today's going to be a decent day for us. We'll talk about that and look ahead to your weekend as well coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:12. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
For the past year, Hiring Hoosiers has been connecting you to jobs, resources, and training.
Right now, demand for services and workers retiring are the reasons behind a massive push to train and hire people who have skills to be a carpenter, a millwright, and a floor coverer. Now, the average pay for a carpenter can be $63,000, while a millwright can make more than $63,000 as well. And on average, a floor cover makes about $58,000. This morning, I'm checking back in with a place offering to pay you and cover your college costs as well.
Mitch Benson enjoys working with his hands. Bridging what begins as a concept and ends with its construction.
Somebody looking for a career field that didn't go to college. I didn't go to college. This would be something I say look into. Before I did this, I was making like 13 bucks an hour. Now I'm in the 20s, and I'm not at my final raise. I still get 2 more raises, and that's what I'm really waiting for.
Mitch is a third-year apprentice with the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters, their facility off the Greenwood exit on Interstate 65. People accepted into the program earn while they learn. They're placed on a job, get training, and take college courses on site to earn their associate's degree from Ivy Tech. Initially, apprentices make at least $16 an hour, plus get health care benefits and an annuity.
If you got a passion for it, this is definitely something you should look for.
You have a passion, right?
Yeah. And I started, I do.
It's in your DNA. You wanna build stuff.
I like building stuff. I like working with my hands, tinkering with stuff.
The need for skilled labor and the ongoing retirements are pushing the IKORCC to ring the alarm.
We need more people, yes.
That's why they're seeking to get more people in the door.
It's the biggest kept secret. These are great opportunities, and we need every walk of life as far as female, minority workers, anybody that would be a good worker, we want. And so that's one of our focal points right now, is to make sure that we can replace our retiring workforce.
So what you see here are the building blocks to supply employers with a skilled workforce in demand.
This is really a great program. To get more information on it, you can call 317-807-5722. We also have all of that information and this video on our website, hiringhoosiers.com.
All right, it's Friday. It is 6:18. Yes. We got to check in with Todd and see what our forecast is looking like today. And Todd, that all-important weekend forecast.
And that clap was for Todd Clausen.
You know, today, thank you. Today is not a bad day. As we enter the weekend, we have a couple little things we have to kind of dodge, especially Sunday into Monday. More on that in just a second. We'll get you out the door first on this Friday morning. 29 in Kokomo, 27 in Bloomington, 30 right now in Indianapolis. We still have some clear skies off towards the east, but by the time we get to sunrise, which is right before 8 o'clock, most of these clouds will be in place across the area. So it's going to be a mostly cloudy day for us as we expand out. The clouds stretch well off to our west, and that's what we'll be dealing with throughout the day today. You notice a little bit of precipitation here near St. Louis, down towards the Arkansas border, and that's what's going to be heading our way later today. The daytime hours, though, will be dry, even though we'll have a lot of clouds in place. Temperatures will moderate pretty quickly here throughout the day. About 41 degrees by the noon hour, and then highs today will top off right around 43 to 44 degrees. And then even this evening, temperatures will still be in the 40s as we progress into that 6, 7 o'clock hour and beyond. Now, I mentioned the rainfall for later today earlier, and here's what we're going to be dealing with. 6:30, by the time we get towards the tail end of the morning commute, or evening commute rather, I think most of you are probably home. Once we get into the evening hours, if you do have plans from Indianapolis to the south, we are expecting some light rain to develop across the area. It may mix after midnight with a few wet snowflakes, but we're not expecting any real big issues on the roadways or anything with this system as it makes its way through. And a few showers or flurries could linger into Saturday morning. But then most of Saturday is going to be dry. So Saturday, we're at 40 degrees for your high temperature. Those showers end pretty early, and that high of 40 is actually above normal. As we get into Sunday, we start off dry with partly cloudy skies, but snow develops late in the day with a temperature of 33. So the colder air is in place. So let me fast forward to Sunday for you on TrueCast, and here we are at 9 a.m. And again, a good chunk of Sunday is going to be dry. It's once we get to the late afternoon hours that snow is expected to overspread the area from south to north. The snow will continue into the overnight hours on Monday. And then you notice this rain-snow line down to the south with that wintry mix. That's what's going to be key as we get into the Monday morning commute. But by this point, I do think there could be several inches of snow on the ground. The track will be important with this system. If it moves a little further to the north, that'll bring the warmer air in a little bit quicker. And as a result, we'll see that change over to sleet and maybe some rain quicker. And then throughout the day on Monday, we deal with rain, and then on the backside, a little bit of snow. So at this point, we're still several days away, and the track has kind of flipped back and forth from a northerly to southerly track throughout the course of the past few days. So here's how it breaks down as of right now. That snow develops on Sunday. I do think as we work our way into Monday morning, several inches of snow will be possible across the area, which will obviously lead to a slick morning commute on Monday. So Monday morning's commute is the one that we have to pay attention to here going forward. It's the biggest trouble spot that we do have in your 7-day planning forecast. Once we get past Monday, the colder air is in place, so I wouldn't really worry about the precipitation tonight into Saturday. Maybe an inconvenience for you a little bit if you have plans late tonight, but it's definitely Sunday into Monday that we'll focus on for the big trouble spot in the 6 and 7-day planning forecast. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thank you so much. If you're heading out on the roads to work or school this Friday, it's looking pretty good. This is a live look here at I-65 near Whitestown. You can see traffic there to the northwest is traveling up to speed. The good news I can bring you at this hour, no crashes to report around the metro area.
A woman is told she needs a new $6,000 furnace when it really just needed a minor repair. Coming up, how you can protect yourself when the service man comes so you don't waste your money.
Zippity-doo-dah, Disney fans, listen up. Right now, it's your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to see Disney on Ice, Worlds of Enchantment. The magic will take place from January the 22nd through the 26th at Bankers Life Fieldhouse right here in Indianapolis. All you have to do is be the 6th caller right now. That number, 317-269-1459. If you don't win right now, we're giving away more tickets later this morning. Good luck. You're watching Good Morning Indiana.
At Ross, yes for less.
So the time now is 6:25 and trending at 6. You know how difficult it is this time of year. So many different holiday parties. What to wear, right?
Yes.
I have an idea just for the both of you, okay? So Popeyes is putting a twist on the traditional Christmas sweater by paying homage to its wildly popular chicken sandwich. The Cajun concoction is featured on an orange and white striped sweater alongside red Christmas trees and snowflakes. Wow. They're on sale for $44.95. And if they're anything like the sandwich, you better act fast or you're likely to have to wait a few months to get your hands on that. That sweater would match my tie and Todd's tie this morning. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think we've all worn them.
As you remember, I'm a
medium.
Going on large.
Extra medium. All right, you've read the news, you've seen what's trending, but do you know how to say everything properly?
Nope.
Yeah, neither do we. The U.S. Captioning Company came up with a list of the most mispronounced words of 2019.
Okay.
The proper way to address teen activists in Time Magazine's Person of the Year is Greta Thunberg. I don't know if I'm saying these right. The often purple-haired soccer champ who won the world title for the U.S. is Megan Rapinoe. And with the polling surge he's seen, you better learn his last name. Mayor Pete's last name is pronounced Buttigieg.
I think we all know that since we're from Indiana, but I'm sure across the country it's a tough one.
Yeah.
Well, check this out. A church in Mississippi is building something much bigger than your standard gingerbread house this season. Get a look at this. They created this 7-foot-tall replica of the Notre Dame Cathedral. It took 450 pounds of ingredients and 50 batches of gingerbread to make the sculpture. As for the stained glass windows you see there, they used Jolly Ranchers.
Okay.
It took them about a month to build this gingerbread masterpiece, and that is pretty impressive.
And in Indiana, we say Notre Dame.
Yes.
Right?
And I want the Jolly Green Ranchers, the apple ones on that stained glass window. That's the ones I would take, the green ones.
Oh, really?
Really? That would not have been my first guess. Everybody usually goes for the watermelon or the cherry or whatever.
I like grape the best, I'd say.
We like Todd, period.
Yeah. And his forecast today. We'll take it.
You know, it's not a bad day for us today. It's Friday, so you don't want to have to deal with any inclement weather, and you don't really until late tonight. So throughout the morning drive here, mostly cloudy skies, not as cold as it has been, with temperatures that will be in the 30s. That is the good news. And highs today will eventually top off in the 40s all across the area, and that puts us about 5 to 7 degrees above normal. Our normal high this time of year is only 39, so it's an above normal day temperature-wise, just not the brightest day. There is the chance of rain late tonight after sunset and the chance of snow as we get into the second half of the weekend. We'll talk more about that coming up in the next half hour.
Todd, thank you. So imagine having a furnace problem right now, and the repairman tells you that you really need to buy a new furnace.
Yikes. Well, it's really the last thing you need on top of all the holiday bills, the spending. Consumer reporter John Matarese shows us what you should do in that case so you don't waste your money.
The sudden changes in temperature in December caused lots of problems for furnaces and heat pumps. If you have an issue, you'll probably need to call an HVAC man. If so, you then need to watch out for the, hey, you need to buy a new unit sales pitch. Denise Hill had a little problem, actually a big problem.
Right here. They went in here.
Her furnace and AC were out, and the HVAC repairman who came to her home had even worse news.
All I heard was like $2,500 for repair.
The repairman said she needed a new $1,000 draft inducer, a gas valve, and a pressure switch. He said given the cost, maybe a new unit was the better option.
You might want to look at investing in a new unit. I'm like, so how much is a new unit? He said anywhere between $6,000 and $10,000.
$10,000? So what do you do in this situation? The text says you need to spend a couple of $1,000s on a repair or $6,000 or more on a new unit. Well, there is one other option, and it's called a second opinion.
You know, I was in panic mode. Then I'm like, you know what? Let me get a second opinion.
Good thing, because the next technician said she just had a loose fan that prevented it from running.
He was like, you need some screws. I'm like, some screws?
It took him 10 minutes to fix, Denise says, and the bigger surprise...
He was like, you don't owe me anything.
Denise now has heat and air, and also a warning for others. What would you say to other people with an issue?
Get a second opinion. Get a third opinion.
Now, it's possible she could need a major repair soon, so we're not saying this was a scam, but it's a reminder that if you don't like your estimate, call someone else. You don't waste your money. Working for you, I'm John Matteries. Good morning, Indiana.
On this Friday, you are watching Good Morning Indiana, and this is your 6:30 news feed. The search is on to find a new police chief in Indianapolis. The mayor's office is working through the holiday season to find the department's next leader. Chief Brian Roach announced his retirement, and Mayor Hogsett is expected to announce his successor in the coming weeks.
2 men are now in custody for the murder of a 6-year-old man out in Benton County. Dwayne Scott Muse and Rhett Allen Martin are accused of killing 60-year-old Daniel Regal last week in Fowler. Investigators say the men set Regal's house on fire. There's no word yet on a possible motive for the murder.
Lake County might be the next to ease the penalty for possession of small amounts of marijuana. The Lake County Council endorsed an ordinance that would give sheriff's deputies the discretion to write a citation for marijuana possession instead of taking someone to jail. The northern Indiana County expects to see more marijuana coming in since recreational use is legal in Illinois and in Michigan, and will soon be legal in Illinois. It is 6:31 here today on Friday the 13th. Ooh. The good news is, though, Todd Clausen does not have a frightening forecast for us.
And I'm not superstitious either, so we don't have to worry about any of that, going under a ladder or black cat
there
out
is
there.
Quite a bright moon this morning.
You know, it would have been interesting if the full moon would have been this morning on Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
The full moon was yesterday. But the moon's still very bright out there. For most of you, though, the clouds continue to increase at this hour, so you won't probably see that moon as clearly as you did yesterday morning. I hope you got a chance to check that out. So it's a cold morning once again, but that's really not going to change here in December. And as we push our way through winter, temperatures anywhere from 27 to 34 degrees with some high clouds out there. Here are those clouds moving in. It's still clear on the eastern side of the state, but these clouds will quickly overspread the area. And for the most part, it's a cloudy day. There's not much, if anything, in the way of sunshine in this forecast for the day today. But at least during the daytime hours, we will stay dry. There's some precipitation, whether it be rain, snow, or wintry mix off to our west that will work in here late tonight. So as you work your way throughout the morning hours, the temperatures go from near freezing here at 8 a.m. to about 41 degrees already by the time we get to the noon hour. Temperatures will continue to warm into the mid-40s today, but we do have rain, as I mentioned, for tonight and snow in the forecast by the end of the weekend. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Tom, thank you. The fate of 3 Indianapolis schools could be decided later today, and the final word will come from the Indiana Charter School Board.
The board will be voting on dropping Charter Schools USA from having control of Manual High School, Emma Donnan Middle School, and Howe High School. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with more on how IPS wants to retake control of those schools. Kelsey, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, that vote is today at 11 o'clock, and the Indiana Charter School Board will be making that decision. And they're voting to decide whether or not Charter Schools USA gets to keep the charter that they've had since 2012 when the state took over those 3 schools. Now, IPS leaders want to see them vote no today because they want to see those 3 schools back in their possession.
What we have said to them sort of proactively is we have a plan and we'd like the opportunity to return those schools to the IPS family.
Alicia Johnson is the superintendent for Indiana Public Schools, and she's been working on a partnership with Bart Peterson and the Crystal House Academy.
We would be willing and actually excited about doing that, but there's a process in front of us that has to play out first.
That process begins with today's Indiana Charter School Board meeting. If the board votes to discontinue Charter Schools USA's charter, then in January, the Indiana School Board will decide if IPS can have the schools back in their district.
If this were to happen, what we would do is we would set up a separate school, so the entire K through 12 Crystal House School would move from the location we're sitting in right now over to the Manual High School building. Manual is a huge school, and we'd be able to run the existing high school under a contract with IPS separately in a separate part of the building.
He says the students who are currently Manual High School students would be Manual High graduates. Over a 3-year period, they would phase Manual into Crystal House Academy.
Well, first of all, we're excited about the opportunity to potentially bring the Crystal House model to Manual High School.
Peterson says they would keep the Manual name and would redevelop the current Crystal House. Again, that meeting is today at 11, and then if they vote no, then there's another meeting in January for the Indiana School Board to vote on whether IPS can have those schools back. So if all of that happens, Crystal House would only be the charter of Emmerich Manual and Emma Donnan and Howe. They're still working on partnerships with those right now. But we will keep you updated on this developing story throughout the day and as more updates come. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
A vote that we will follow. Thank you so much. The time now is 6:35. Only on RTV6, it's a situation that can impact your vehicle repair claim. A Boone County man expecting to have the engine in his Kia Soul replaced instead received a warranty rejection. Ordy Ortwine says a mechanic found a hole in his engine block. Since the vehicle had less than 100,000 miles, he thought that Kia would replace the engine under his warranty. He says the dealership told him no, and that's because an adjuster saw a lift sticker on his window. Under the limited warranty plan, consumers are warned that their warranty could be jeopardized for a number of reasons, including if the vehicle is used for the carriage of passengers for hire.
I was livid, frankly, because it felt like a loophole. Clearly, there's just something wrong with this car. I mean, a hole in the engine block does not just happen. And I felt like they found an excuse to not make an expensive repair, was my feelings on that.
But Kia this morning is pushing back, saying a lack of maintenance is the reason they denied the claim. In a statement to RTV6, they say in part that the company technicians revealed clear signs of lack of maintenance, including engine oil sludge, which can lead to engine failure. Therefore, consideration for additional possible goodwill coverage beyond the terms of the new vehicle limited warranty term has been denied.
So, Raphael, I know you talked to a number of other dealerships representing Chevrolet, Acura. What did you learn from them?
So they tell me that one of the best ways to win a claim in any instance is to keep copies of your maintenance upkeep. Of course, that's the sort of the no-duh. So the question is, Raphael, for how long?
Yeah.
Well, just like with your IRS tax forms, you should keep those records, now get this, for 3 to 10 years, because obviously some people love their vehicles and they keep it forever. And so if you have a warranty issue, you can say, look, I have all the maintenance records on hand, help me win this claim. So many of us don't do that.
Yeah.
Many of us get that and we throw it out, right?
Yeah.
Keep the paper to beat the claim. That's the answer.
All right, well, we have much more on this story for anyone at home who's looking for this. That's on the IndyChannel.com.
Time now is 6:37. Thousands of Indiana adoptees are getting access to unsealed adoption records after a change in state law last year. And one Hoosier is hopeful the information in his file will lead to a reunion. Our Alyssa Donovan is here here with us in studio this morning. Alyssa, he learned his birth mom's name, but he has not been able to track her down.
That's right, Meredith. He reached out to RTV6 to see if we can help by sharing his story. He, along with thousands of other Hoosiers, took advantage of a change in state law that unsealed adoption records last July. After months of waiting, he received the documents, but what he learned has not been enough to find who he's looking for. Quentin Young wants to meet his birth mom. The 28-year-old was given up when he was just a baby, and after years of curiosity, he finally took the necessary steps to get some answers. Young says this was triggered by the loss of his adoptive parents, who he always viewed as his real family. But now that he's older, he wants to know more about where he came from, his medical history, and learn why his mother gave him up nearly 3 decades ago.
Maybe it's not because she didn't want you. Maybe it's because she wanted better for you. Then you have to think about it like that. So, and honestly, I've had a good life so far.
Young is now engaged. His fiancée says she would like to meet his mom, too. An Indiana State Department of Health has processed thousands of requests through the adoption matching registry since the change in state law. Birth parents do have the right to keep their identities private by submitting paperwork, but Young's mother didn't file any. He believes she did that on purpose so that they could have a reunion in the future.
Alyssa, thank you. It is 6:39. Get those stuffed animals ready for the ice. Next, we've got Nitro and some others in the house to get us ready for one of the most fun nights of the year. We'll be right back.
Select models.
Every year, it is one of the best scenes of the holiday season around Indianapolis, and you can use it to make a child or 2 or 200 happy. Tomorrow night is the annual teddy bear toss hosted by the Indy Fuel, and we have a big crowd in our studio to talk about it this morning. Larry McQuarrie, the team president, is here, along with Jeff Needlinger, is the VP of operations for the Indy Fuel. And of course, they've had to bring this guy along. You know, wouldn't be an Indy Fuel interview without Nitro. So let's talk about the teddy bear toss and what the purpose of this event is. It's not just to work out the team a little bit harder, making them pick up toys from the ice,
exactly.
Right?
It's one of our signature games. It's actually a hockey tradition. So after the first goal is scored, throw these stuffed animals, so everyone bring them out to the game.
Nitro, do not break that camera, because I do not have the money to pay for that.
And then where do the toys go?
These are going to go to the Six Shines On.
Yeah, Six Shines On
So we're
toy
super excited to team up with you guys again.
Yeah, so why do you guys continue to participate year after year? This is such a fun event, obviously,
yes.
But, you know.
I mean, community is huge to us. I mean, that's why our owner started us in the first place. So we want to give back, and this is our opportunity to do that. And we're expecting a sellout tomorrow night. So there's still tickets available. We have less than 1,000 available right now. So we want everybody to come out and get them.
So if people are going to still buy tickets, or they already have tickets, what do they need to know if they're planning to come out to the game?
Well, if they need to buy tickets, they should go to indyfuelhockey.com.
Perfect.
What do they need to know to come out to the game?
Game starts at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Bring your bears, ready to throw them.
Yes, and bring multiple bears.
Multiple bears.
Exactly. And they don't have to be, they don't have to be a bear. They can be any
stuffed animal. All right. Thank you so much, guys. We always look forward to seeing the turnout at this event every single year.
And we love partnering with you guys for this event.
Well, thank you very much. All right. Well, Nitro is driving me crazy over here. So I'm going to send it over to the guy who drives me the second most crazy.
Nitro, come over here, Nitro. Come over here.
There you go.
I'll give you a big hug and welcoming arms. All right. Today it's cloudy, but Nitro, we're going to need your help. Come here quick. We're going to need you to help breathe some fire on this forecast for the weekend. We have rain and snow that's heading our way. So that's going to arrive on Sunday. So we're going to need you to warm things up so it's all rain and no snow, all right? All right. We'll talk all about that forecast for you coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues.
There are a lot of deals out there, but we're finding that some are just not real. In our series looking at the 12 biggest scams that pop up this time of year, number 4 are those free gift cards and those fake coupons. You may see them circulating on social media, like this post saying that you could get a $75 Costco coupon by clicking on the link and then entering personal information. don't do it. According to Costco, this is a hoax, and it happens a lot almost every year. Also be careful of the gift card offers, like pay $10 for a $100 gift card, or text like this one saying you're randomly selected to win a $1,000 gift card to Walmart that comes with a suspicious link. If it seems to be too good to be true, yeah, it is. So, however, though, we have seen some companies like Target giving away gift cards in exchange for something.
You've got to wonder what's in it for them. You know, so yes, if I go to Target, I buy an iPhone, I get $200. You know what? I'm probably going to also buy accessories. And it's Target. I'm probably going to buy 40 other things while I'm there.
So be mindful of those. There are some legitimate ones, but some are really fake. The accounting professor says this is a tactic that stores may give you something if you spend something even more, but no store is going to give you away anything for free unless you buy something. So working for you, we're bringing you a different scam that crooks may want to use against you this time of year. And now you can protect yourself by going to our website. We have all the tips to keep you safe on theindychannel.com.
Used to trap them, burn down, fly like a bird. I got them, bullet them. Birds, yeah, come on, right now. Birds, come on, just get them right.
Can you hear me over this music? Okay, there we go. Tonight, the Pacers are on the road trying to tame those birds. They are in Atlanta to battle the Hawks. Indiana will try to follow up on its 105-104 win over Atlanta at Bankers Life Fieldhouse 2 weeks ago. Tip-off is at 7:30 tonight in Atlanta. The Pacers are back home this Sunday to take on the Hornets before LeBron and the Lakers come to town next Tuesday.
I'm loving the music. What is up with that? Yeah.
And we hope when they come back from Atlanta, maybe they bring us a little bit of warmer weather.
Yes.
I don't know, from down south.
A little humidity, maybe. I wouldn't be mad about it.
That's odd. I don't know.
The answer to that is going to be no.
Okay.
Let's go forward. Today is the warmest day that we have in our extended forecast. We're starting you off this morning with temperatures in the 20s and the 30s. So it's chilly. You need the jacket, obviously, and you'll always need it probably this time of year unless we get a real unseasonably warm day. And so as you head out and about to walk your favorite four-legged friend or featured dog of the day, he's got his sweater on. He's all set to go. This is Georgie, sent in by Donna Sparks. Thanks to Donna for sending Georgie in. And you can send your pictures to Todd Clausen at RTV6 on my Facebook page, and we'll get them on the air eventually here in the coming weeks. Green pause for the forecast today. We're starting off in the 20s, ending in the 40s later on this afternoon with skies that'll be mostly cloudy. We've had some clear skies overnight now into the early morning hours, but these clouds are ultimately going to win out here throughout the course of the day today. And you look off to the west and you notice there's a little bit of precipitation here and there. That is what's going to head our way later on this evening. So if you do have plans tonight, I think you're just fine through about 8, 9 o'clock. Once we get past that 8, 9 o'clock hour, that's when we're going to start to bring in the chance of some scattered showers across the area, especially in southern locations with temperatures that will be in the 30s. And here's how it plays out for you on TrueCast. You see by 10:30 some light rain, mainly south of Interstate 70. For those of you in northern locations, Lafayette, Kokomo, Peru, you probably make it throughout the whole night without any rainfall. This will just be generally light, and it could linger into early Saturday morning, but it's mainly a late Friday overnight thing compared to a Saturday thing for us. But we'll have skies that'll be mostly cloudy throughout much of the day on Saturday with a high temperature that is going to be right around 41 degrees. Sunday, mostly cloudy, 33. However, Sunday afternoon, that's when we are going to start to bring in the chance of some snow across the area. So snow will overspread the area from south to north Sunday night. It goes throughout much of the overnight hours before it starts to make its way out of the area as we work our way into Monday. This is a different computer model than the one I just showed you. This one's bringing a little bit more in the way of warmer air in, mixing the rain in with the snow. So that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. The track of this is very fickle. Maybe 50 to 100 miles either direction is a big difference between rain and or snow. But I'll show you the snow potential at this point, and just keep in mind that this is going to change. But by Monday morning, we're looking at the potential for maybe a couple inches of snow here across the area, with the higher totals being to the north. Again, that is Monday morning. That would be the issue. So plenty of time to fine tune that forecast behind that storm system, though. Much colder air. Highs only right around freezing on Tuesday and below freezing on Wednesday.
Todd, thank you. Time to grab those phones. It's your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to see Disney on Ice, Worlds of Enchantment. The magic will take place January 22nd through the 26th at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. You just have to be the 6th caller right now at 317-269-1459. Good luck. We'll be right back.
Life. Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board.
All right, let's wrap up your work week with some good news that'll make you smile. It may bring a tear to your eye, or it might do both.
Right, so a professor at a Virginia college says he was just doing his job, showing his students how physics applies to their everyday lives.
And I think I'd be correct in saying none of us have ever taken a physics class.
Nope.
Todd did. Todd did. All right. So we can all learn from this. What David Wright didn't know was that one of his students was shooting video of him going above and beyond. She then made a montage of his experiments, and it is setting social media on fire.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, me, oh my. Professor Wright did everything from lying on a bed of nails to making his students ice cream using dry ice. Erica Church, one of his students at Tidewater Community College in Virginia Beach, calls him their grandfather away from home. She emailed to tell him the video had gotten millions of views on Twitter and to thank him for an amazing semester. The professor emailed her back to say that it was an amazing semester because he had amazing students and probably didn't break any bones doing those experiments.
Wow. That's so cool. I want him as my professor. All right, well, you hear about these stories almost every holiday season. Someone dropping off more than just pocket change into one of those Salvation Army kettles. This happened up in Noblesville. Volunteers found a 1915 Corona Austrian gold coin when they were emptying the kettle from the Noblesville Walgreens this past weekend. That gold coin is valued at, get this, around $1,500. Awesome. And as usual, no one knows who made that big donation.
But thank you.
Yes, that's so cool.
Incredible.
Todd, will we say thank you to you this weekend?
Maybe not by Sunday night, but otherwise, maybe I'll get a handshake. I don't know about thank you. Today, it's dry. A pat on the back, that works too. We'll have mostly cloudy skies today, 44 degrees. Once we get to 9, 10 o'clock tonight, a few scattered showers do enter the forecast. They should be done by tomorrow morning. Sunday afternoon into Monday, snow likely across the area.
All right, Todd, thanks, and thank you for joining us. We're back here in 25 minutes and all throughout Good Morning America.
All your news throughout the day is on the RTV6 app.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday morning.